Welcome to another edition of Valor Life. The young man I want you to meet today, funny thing, he absolutely loved stealing. Of course, it wound up with him being in prison, and then he woke up. Here's his story.
Michael Gupton. I've been here for 4 months. I've been incarcerated for a year.
Where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to high school?
Went to West End. I never made it to high school.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Why?
I never finished 7th grade.
All right, there's a story there. Explain to me.
Well, I never had a father and didn't really know the way of life, so I just made it on my own. Thought I knew the right way and just couldn't do it.
I don't think by law that you're allowed to not go to school after 7th grade. So were you somehow laying low or something? Or
I was
what?
there for 3 years and then I dropped out. So I was about 16 when I dropped out. Yeah.
What did you do at 16? Trying to look for work?
No, I moved out and started just stealing just like everybody else to make ends meet.
Yeah, you sound like a rebel. Now, what in the world causes that?
Well, just not knowing how to live life, relying on your own understanding and just doing what everybody else is doing. And
What was home like life? Because something had to be influencing that. Yeah, what was it like at home?
Oh, never had a father. My mother, she done the best she could, but she pretty much just let me do whatever I wanted to do. So
Not having a father is a big deal, I think. You
Real
got to see
big
a man
deal.
to be a man, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So did you start running with the wrong crowd?
Yes, ran with the wrong crowd.
Were you a leader or a follower of that
I was a
crowd?
follower. I like to please people.
You like to? I see. That's an honest answer right there. And you got into stealing?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because you wanted the money, or because you liked the high that you get from it?
At first, it was what everybody was doing, but I was good at it, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was good at something.
Until you get caught.
Until I got caught and made the news in '96.
So what happens when you, this is real? What happened? What goes on?
Well, there's a lot of heartbreak, but you think that you can do it better, so you try to learn things and see if you can get out and do it a different way. Maybe you just messed up in life.
You talked about, you mean messed up in the angle of still doing what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay, you're trying to think about being a better criminal.
A better criminal.
I like you. You got an honest answer in that regard. There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But you're now with Men of Valor. What's happened? When did you finally hit the wall?
Well, I got under my blanket looking at an 8-year sentence after I just finished 7 years in prison. Started to cry because I didn't know where to go. And God heard my prayers. And I didn't even know it was a prayer. And I started hearing scriptures from people that I tried to read and didn't understand. And I just felt this pull from God.
You'd never really talked to him before then?
Never even knew about God.
Well, then what makes you reach out to him?
It was, my heart was crying out for pain. And he heard the cries of my heart.
That led to then, I want to get involved with Men of Valor?
I heard about Men of Valor. And since I knew that there was something pulling me towards the Lord, I gave Men of Valor a shot.
You've got some very faithful men that teach those classes.
Yes.
Did they push you?
No, they never push you about anything. They teach you that, it's okay to not have everything figured out. They show you how to pray, and they just show you what a leadership is. And when you see God changing men like that, something draws you towards Him, and that's what you want. You want to figure out what it is.
How do you know when you leave here that you're not going to get that old temptation going to come crawling into you again?
The temptations might come, but I love the Lord. He's changed my heart, and that old lifestyle is just dark. And I can wake up with peace and joy in my heart. I just want to tell everybody how good He is.
I bet your mama would be glad to hear that.
Yes, she will.
Isn't it awful how we disappoint our parents a lot of times without thinking about it?
We do, but in the end, when you come to know the Lord, it's worth it.
What do you mean?
It's worth it. Just being able to talk to God and allowing Him to come into your heart, it fixes so many things that you never knew was even broke.
All right, you were pretty good at stealing to some degree. What do you think you're good at? What do you want to do when you get out? How do you want to make a difference?
I like to encourage people. I like to tell them that there's a way out. You don't have to live like that.
I like the smile on your face. You want to do it. Young kids, I bet you can read people pretty well to see what their background's been.
Yeah, there's definitely a way out, and the love lures people, and He allows you to love people through Him. So
isn't it a shame that we have to sometimes run all over the place and then go crazy and then wind up being incarcerated until we finally open up and realize?
It is crazy. Sometimes we do have to go through hardships, and He uses that because we have to feel like there's no other way out but through Him. And once He shows up, it's all worth it.
Keep that smile.
Thank you.
You're good. And now you talk to Michael and what he wants to do with that smile on his face from what he has learned and now this God that's come into his life, he wants to be able to tell other people that there's another way to live life, another way that can be very fulfilling in what they do. You don't have to be that old person you were. That's another edition of Valor Life.